dive. Today, we are taking the source material you shared with us, a really profound commentary on the fourth chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga.
And our mission is, well, it's highly targeted. We're looking for the shortcut to spiritual freedom.
The shortcut. I like that.
This chapter is basically an instruction manual for successful living. It gets into the divine, the architecture of society, and this really counterintuitive relationship between effort and liberation.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because I think for you, the listener, the core question we're answering today is how you can operate with complete commitment in this high-pressure world.
In your job, your studies.
Right, in everything. But remain completely untouched by the stress and, the anxiety that comes when things don't go your way.
And it kicks off with a massive paradox.
It does. The creator who set up the entire universe, but then declares, I am the non-doer. So we need to figure out how to do that ourselves. How to act, but be a non-doer.
So, Chapter 4 opens with this famous discussion of the Lord's descent, the Avatar. Why does the divine need to, actively intervene in the world?
The source material gives us the context right away. It's that famous verse, yada yada, hi dharmacha glanir bhavati bharatha.
When righteousness declines.
Exactly, when the whole system starts to break down. This manifestation isn't random. It's a very specific intervention, a restoration project.
With a three-part purpose, right?
A three-part purpose. First, protecting the good people, the sadhus. Second, the destruction of the wicked. And third, and this is the big one, the reestablishment of dharma.
So it's about restoring equilibrium.
It's about getting the world's moral compass to point true north again.
And here's the huge takeaway for you listening. The source really emphasizes that just understanding the divine nature of the Lord's birth and actions.
The janma karma cha me divyam. Yes, that very knowledge is a path to liberation. If you can grasp this, you don't return to this world.
It's a direct link between understanding and freedom. And what's fascinating is how that relationship extends to worship in verse 11, the principle of reciprocity.
Yatha mam prapadyanti.
The divine meets you where you are. It reciprocates, according to your bhava, your whole emotional style of devotion.
But hold on. If the ultimate goal is liberation, doesn't accommodating every human need, including wanting quick worldly results, doesn't that sort of undermine the goal?
That is a crucial question.
Are we just encouraged to be transactional with the divine?
And the commentary hits this head on. It says the Lord accommodates because he wants our progress. The end goal is liberation, sure, but the path there has to go through material stability.
You can't meditate deeply if you're worried about rent.
You can't. So the divine is pragmatic. This leads to what the source calls this organizational structure of the devatas. The gods.
Like departments in a company.
Exactly. For those seeking immediate, tangible results, success in your career, better health, the Lord has, metaphorically, set up these departments. Need success? Go to Ganesh. Need prosperity? Lakshmi.
So these departments provide the worldly blessings to stabilize your life.
Which then gives you the foundation, the breathing room, to start that deeper spiritual journey. It's a brilliant system, really. It meets us where we are and then just nudges us forward.
So if the Lord sets up the cosmic order, it makes sense. He also sets up the functional human order.
Which brings us to verse 13 and the Chaturvarnyam, the four social classifications.
And we need to be crystal clear here.
Yes, absolutely. The source material is emphatic. This is about your inherent qualities, your psychological makeup, and karma, your function.
Your action in society. It is not, and this is key, it is not based on birth. It's a classification based on your nature and your necessary duty.
It's about functional necessity for the world to actually work. Think of it like a team roster, not a social ladder. Society needs these functional pillars. You need people focused on knowledge and teaching. You need people for defense and protection.
Commerce, finance, agriculture.
And of course, essential labor and services. A functioning society has to have all four. If everyone decides they only want to be knowledge seekers, well, the whole structure just collapses.
That reframes it completely. It's not an arbitrary assignment, it's about a necessary division of labor.
Right, but this brings us straight back to that central paradox we started with. The Lord creates this incredibly intricate system.
And then immediately says, Na mam karmani limpanti. My actions don't taint me.
And akartaramavayam. I am the non-doer.
So how can the ultimate architect of all this activity be completely untouched by it?
Because he acts without any expectation. He has zero desire for the fruits of the action. Name karma feli spriha.
He winds the clock and lets it run.
He does. And that detachment is the blueprint for our own karma yoga.
This idea of customized duty, Swadharma, is so critical. The source gives that beautiful Upanishadic story, the day-day story.
Oh, it's so instructive. The Lord speaks just one syllable, day, but it means three different things depending on who's listening.
So for the Devatas, it means damyata, self-control.
For humans, the Manavas, it means daya, charity. And for the Danavas, dayadvam, compassion. The teaching is tailored to what the recipient needs.
So the takeaway for you is that your spiritual duty isn't a one-size-fits-all thing. You have to know yourself, your guna, your karma, to figure out which specific instruction actually applies to you right now.
Oh my ha. Okay, so we've got the grand cosmic context and our functional role. Now we get into the core mechanics of action itself.
This is it. Verse 17 warns us, Gahana karmonogati. The subtle nature of action is incredibly hard to understand.
It's where the philosophical rubber meets the road.
It is. You have to clearly differentiate three things to navigate life. There's karma, prescribed action, vikarma, forbidden action,
Yeah.
and the karma, inaction. And the genius of this whole chapter is condensed into verse 18. The truly wise person is the one who sees a karma in karma and karma in a karma.
That's the one. That's the whole game right there.
So let's spend some time here. This is the spiritual shortcut. First, seeing a karma in karma. This sounds like a cheat code. You do the action, but you don't take the credit or the blame.
It is exactly that. You are physically and mentally engaged. You're writing the code, running the meeting, but you have zero kartrutva pavana.
That ego of I am the doer.
Gone. The action happens through you, not by you.
But how does that work, practically? I mean, when I'm nailing a presentation, it feels very much like I am doing it.
The source gives some great examples. Think of a master chef just flying, slicing vegetables, or a seasoned pilot landing a plane. Their actions are so based on deep expertise and repetition that they become almost automatic. They're in a state of flow. The body is performing karma, but the mind is in a karma detached.
So it's about shifting focus from the outcome to the process.
To the process. And this is crucial. Acknowledging the process isn't solely powered by I. True akarma in karma is when we credit the source.
Like the Sadhguru Tintoker example.
The perfect example. At his retirement, he honored his guru. He acknowledged that all that talent, the training, it originated from something outside his own ego.
So when you stop saying, I did this,
And start realizing this was achieved through the knowledge I received, the action becomes clean. It stops creating that karmic residue that binds you.
that changes the whole burden of success and failure. If I fail, it wasn't just me. If I succeed, it wasn't just me.
Exactly. The action is pure because the attachment to the fruit is gone.
Now let's flip it. This one's trickier. Seeing karma in a karma, how can doing nothing cause something to happen?
This is realizing that your non-movement can still create massive movement in the world. Look at the sun.
Okay.
The sun is in a karma. It's still, but its presence generates almost all the karma on Earth. Birds sing, flowers bloom, the workday begins, all because the sun is just there.
Its non-movement causes all movement. That's a powerful idea.
Now apply it to people. Think of a senior leader in an office, or a revered elder in a family, just sitting quietly in a room.
Right. They're not doing anything.
They're not, but their quiet, observing presence makes everyone else work harder, act with more discipline. Their inaction is generating the karma of others.
So if I stop just hustling and trying to control everything, and instead I cultivate deep knowledge and principled being, my presence alone can generate the right action in others.
It's the difference between doing the work and being the catalyst for the work, and mastering this dual vision. Well, that's what transforms your duty into total freedom. And this mastery leads us to the characteristics of the pundit, the truly wise person described in verses 19 and 20.
These are the qualities that just naturally emerge when you integrate this, aren't they?
They are.
It sounds like they're basically immune to modern anxiety.
Yeah.
Their undertakings are free from personal desire, from karma. They just do things because it's their role, not because they're chasing a reward.
And because there's no ego or desire in the actions themselves are purified. They're burned in the fire of knowledge. Janani dagda karmanam. No karmic debt accumulates.
Which must lead to this incredible internal contentment.
Absolutely. They are content with whatever comes their way naturally. Yajruta labha santushta. This is the perfect antidote to our comparison culture.
And they're free from the dvandvas, the dualities.
The paralyzing dualities, yes. Success, failure, honor, dishonor, profit, loss, all of it.
That freedom from envy must be a huge practical benefit. If someone else gets the promotion, The wise person just sees it as the divine acting successfully through that person. There's no rivalry.
They are established in equilibrium in samatva. A stock market crash doesn't distress them, and a huge win doesn't elate them. They see it all as just the mechanism of the world turning.
So what's the ultimate payoff for living in this state?
Verse 23 confirms it. The work of such a person is unbinding. They perform actions with the body, shariram kevalam karma, but because the ego is gone, the action is clean,
They're doing everything required of them.
without ever being trapped by the identity of the doer. They find freedom through their duty, not from it.
So this deep dive has really given you the navigational chart for spiritual success. We've gone beyond just defining duty to understanding the functional basis of society, and I think most critically, we saw the entire goal is to master this paradox of action.
The core insight is right there in that dual vision. So when you perform your highest effort in your next big project at work, or even just cooking a meal, can you practice seeing a karma in that karma?
Can you give it 100%?
100% effort, but mentally credit the source of your ability and just remain unattached to the grade, the bonus, whatever the specific outcome is.
That is the work. It moves you from just reacting to the world to fully participating in it.
Exactly.
So here's the provocative thought we'll leave you with. The most profound and lasting work isn't measured by the size of the result, but by the level of freedom the person feels while doing it. This is the difference between working to finish a task
Yeah.
and working to be free through the task.